You fed me your blood, and now you belong to me. There is no turning back, Emily. You swore allegiance, and the sisterhood never forgets. Emily jolted awake, her chest heaving as though she had been running. The words from her dream reverberated in her mind. She couldn't shake the image of a beautiful woman perched on a crescent moon, her silver gown flowing like liquid light. Beside her, Michael stirred. What is it this time? Emily struggled to find the words. It's her again. She said I belong to her, that I can't escape. Michael sat up, his brow furrowed in concern. Emily, this is the third time this week. You need to tell me what's going on. Welcome to Boost of Faith. If you're new here, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Today, we're sharing an incredible story of redemption. Emily's journey takes us through the snares of worldly desires, spiritual bondage, and the unmatched power of God's deliverance. Let's begin. Emily Parker was a ray of sunshine in the Parker family. Born and raised in a small town in North Carolina, she was the youngest of 4 children and the only girl. To her parents, Robert and Linda Parker, she was more than a daughter. She was a gift. Robert often said, Emily is our diamond, a rare, precious jewel given by God. Her 3 older brothers, Ethan, Caleb, and Noah, treated her like royalty, alternating between playful teasing and fierce protectiveness. The Parkers were a devout Christian family. Every morning began with family devotions at the dining table, and Sundays were reserved for church and family time. Emily's parents were successful business owners running a chain of farm-to-table restaurants across North Carolina. Despite their busy schedules, they prioritized their faith and instilled those values in their children. Emily was a model child. She excelled in school, consistently topping her class, and was deeply involved in church and community activities, whether it was leading worship at the youth service or volunteering at the local food bank. Emily carried herself with humility and grace. You're destined for greatness, Linda would tell her, but never forget, your true worth comes from God, not the world. When Emily received a scholarship to Duke University, her family celebrated with a prayer of thanksgiving. But as the day of her departure approached, Linda felt an unexplainable heaviness in her spirit. Emily, promise me something, Linda said as they packed her things. Stay close to God, no matter what. The world out there can be deceptive. Emily hugged her mother tightly. I promise, Mom, I won't change. Arriving at Duke, Emily was awestruck by the grandeur of the campus. The sprawling lawns, Gothic-style buildings, and buzzing energy of students filled her with both excitement and apprehension. But it didn't take long for her to realize she was out of her depth. Back home, she had been the star. Here, she was just another freshman. The cliques were well-defined, and social media seemed to dictate everything, from how people dressed to who they befriended. Emily, who had never been engrossed in social media trends, felt like an outsider. Her roommate, Lauren, was the complete opposite. Lauren was confident, trendy, and well-connected. You need to loosen up, Lauren said one evening. You're way too smart to be hiding in the library every night. Come out with me. Emily resisted at first, but the loneliness became unbearable. When Lauren invited her to a Kappa Delta event, Emily reluctantly agreed. The Kappa Delta house was unlike anything Emily had ever seen. Crystal chandeliers, plush carpets, and a sea of glamorous young women greeted her. Lauren introduced her to Jessica, the sorority president, who radiated confidence and charm. Emily, right? Jessica said, extending her perfectly manicured hand. I've heard great things about you. You're just the kind of girl we're looking for. The invitation flattered Emily. For the first time in weeks, she felt seen and valued. The pledge process was a whirlwind. Emily attended mixers, completed challenges, and bonded with other initiates. But the initiation ceremony was different. In a dimly lit room, Jessica stood at the center, holding a scroll. Tonight, you pledge your loyalty to the sisterhood, she declared. Emily hesitated when asked to sign the scroll, especially when she realized the ceremony required a small blood offering. It's symbolic, Jessica said with a smile. All great bonds require sacrifice. Ignoring the unease in her heart, Emily pricked her finger and signed her name. The room seemed to shift, an almost imperceptible change in the atmosphere. But Emily convinced herself it was her imagination. Being a Kappa Delta sister elevated Emily's status on campus. She attended exclusive parties, networked with influential people, and gained a newfound confidence. But her priorities shifted. Church attendance became sporadic. Her grades, while still good, began to slip. She experimented with drinking and other behaviors she'd once sworn to avoid. Emily, what's going on with you? Ethan asked during a holiday visit home. Nothing's going on, Emily snapped. I'm just growing up. You wouldn't understand. Linda grew increasingly concerned. Robert, she's not the same girl we sent to Duke. She'll come around, Robert reassured her. But Linda wasn't so sure. After graduation, Emily secured a high-paying job at a top marketing firm. Her parents celebrated her professional success, but Linda noticed the emptiness in her eyes. Emily's personal life was a mess. She entered relationship after relationship, each one ending in heartbreak. She couldn't understand why she couldn't find lasting love. "I don't get it," she confided to Lauren over coffee one day. "I have everything, a great job, a nice apartment. Why can't I find someone who stays?" Lauren shrugged. "Maybe you're just too independent." Guys can't handle that, but Emily knew it was more than that. There was a shadow over her life that she couldn't explain. The dream started on her 30th birthday. A woman in a silver gown appeared, her beauty mesmerizing but her presence terrifying. "You belong to me," the woman said, her voice cold. "You swore an oath. Marriage is not for you." Emily tried to brush off the dreams as stress, but they became more vivid and frequent. When she married Michael, the dreams turned violent. The woman now warned her of dire consequences for defying her. "You will never have children," she sneered. After her third miscarriage, Emily broke down. She told Michael everything. The dreams, the sorority initiation, and the nagging feeling that her past was catching up with her. Michael, deeply concerned, suggested they seek help from their church. During a deliverance session, Emily had a vision. She saw herself back in the candlelit room at the Kappa Delta house, signing the scroll and sealing her fate with blood. The woman from her dreams was there, laughing. "You gave yourself to me," the woman said. "You're mine." "Jesus, forgive me," Emily cried, both in the vision and in real life. "I didn't know what I was doing." The pastor prayed fervently, declaring the power of Jesus over her life. After hours of prayer, Emily felt a weight lift off her chest. Months later, Emily gave birth to a healthy baby boy, Samuel. She and Michael rededicated their lives to Christ and became active in their church. Emily began sharing her story, speaking at events and mentoring young women. "Belonging doesn't come from the world," she often said. "It comes from knowing who you are in Christ."